is the reason why Montero is off track.
What we need, that's going to end up in contact. It had to happen because Highfeld...
It is big enough, the anti-stall which kicks in and stops the car from stalling.
Renault was strong too, and there is the Dawn Boss incident.
That's his downshift, and around it goes. Overcorrected, really. Will Webber have his second contact? There he will. And Webber is out. So the back end of the car goes over the bumps, gets light. Car does advise them Fisichella as the curb pushes him wide offline. The drivers are really...
Here's the mistake. That's the corner that's been catching a lot of people out this weekend here.
That coming out of... That's strange. No, that's strange.
Ja ero kavereiden välillä oli melkein pari sekuntia. Metriä testiä McLarenilla. Nyt lähti kartti Keijan. Kertoohan se jotain. Robert Dornbos pyörii oikein kunnolla siellä. Ai. Ja vähän.
In the second we've got a Minardi stalled on the start. Raikkonen. You can see it was Montoya that went up onto the grass. There's is absolutely mesmerising as Montoya, who was pulling away from Michael.
Killian raised his game this year, no doubt about it. And that is that tricky little, what I've numbered.
Free.
Well, later on, that's up at turn 4. So...
Vähän oli kyllä perässä tilanne.
No, tuo sama mutka, missä usein...
It wasn't even heading for the apex, it was going inside.
No, straight in.
In front of Nick. And who knows, to see, we were on, so we were going all the way to maximum capacity, and with every reason you think,
oh, that's several on the race. Michael Schumacher is involved. Look, Schumacher's just kissing the Armco barrier on the left-hand side, perhaps thinking already about the corner after.
Kerta kaikkiaan. Tähän kohtaan nyt ei viimeistään halua. Siellä ajaa kuule Silleen. Niiltä lähtee peräalta ja nokkakolari ja tässä tulee ensimmäinen tommonen, joo.
And Schumacher smacks into the back of him.
He's under real pressure. There goes the tire. Let's go. I said he should have pitted.
Gamble, they had to do it, and that's very reminiscent of when Mika Häkkinen already there, and Juan Pablo just turned right across his nose, and then.
Tulee tuo tilanne, lähtee ihan samalla lailla kuin Tiago Monteirolla, mutta vähän tulee tuo Christian Almersin tilanne. Tilanne. Toi on ollut koko aamun liukas toi mutka yhdessä.
So Sato giving himself a favour. Oh no, dear me!
His end. This is Jensen. He got wide on the way. He should have taken to the escape.
Ai! Siinä lähti Davidilta auto alta. Tällä hetkellä. Toki Trullilla matkaa Kimin parhaaseen ja tässä se tulee. Vaikuttaa myöskin, että siinä tapahtuu jotain.
Osut tää Magni kuurin kohdalleen ja kaiken näköistä ohjelmaa.
His pit stop. There you can see what happened to Frisacker.
Eli varmasti on liukas tuo.
On tällöin eri kilpailussa näitä tällaisia sakkoja jaetaan ja.
Montero just didn't know that Jacques had committed to go down the out.
Noch auf Pole fahren. Oh, so nicht.
Kärkeä
Aika yllättävässä kohtaa lähtee.
Joo. Niin. Jostain kumman syystä 95, 2002 ja 2004 samalla kun
carbon fibre being laid onto the ground. That's going to cause a punch maybe with somebody clean.
And you can see Alonso there after he lost his wing. There's Coulthard. That's how he went out, as I can see. Lots of bits of Renault bodywork. Oh, that's what it. Simple spin. He knocked the front wheel off his car. Hit.
Tässä voisi sanoa, että lähti vähän kirjoittamaan Rubens Barrichello.
Liian lujaa tuohon. Tuohon se on radan hiekkaeste ja nyt se on tehty tommoseksi betoniksi, eli enää se ei ole.
Webber is a long way up the inside of Michael.
Lost a bit of time. He's struggling to hold on to this. Not surprisingly, 100.
Oho, tässä tulee, oho!
Alonso will be smiling. That's what happened.
Fagner chicane.
Position the car and big off. Oh, it launched itself across the lines, twitched up.
Inside curb, puts the back of the car out of shape. Player up the top there. It's sort of a conveyor belt in front of Arto. Look, coming in way too hot. Michael's already out of the Grand Prix anyway. Somehow they managed to touch again.
Pinched into the wall. Oh, did he get his teammate?
His brakes, driving a Honda, driving. It's the two second string, if you want to call it, in this.
Pretty sad, you know, 3 cars in front of me missed the chicane. I think it was Villeneuve.
Aber hatte diesen Abflug. Damit war
Genau, die Ausgang-Turn.
Oh, huge contact for.
Aina vähän heikkenee ja siitä se lähtee.
Ylittää tuo maalilinja, nostaa itsensä 3 pykälää lähemmäksi kärkeä. Eli on
Perää ja oli kaiken näköistä ohjelmaa ja
sitä.
Tuli ihan hyvä vilske tuohon.
Aha, siellä se tapahtui. Tallikaveri Ralf Schumacher 12 ajalla 3.
The engines. Whoa! As Massa loses it, a very.
To rear brake, yes, and probably just as he was downshifting.
Just pulling off, and that doesn't look good from the BMW. Fernando Alonso, when he came in on lap 19, whoa, problems here.
Montoya, let's take a look. Here it is, down into that.
The wing had gone, but I think the wheel had probably knocked that off already. That's Raikkonen. I think he's right rear. Oh, that's a big smoky blow up from.
Saada koko komppania työntämään sitä, että saataisiin toi Honda tosta poilleen. Itse asiassa
Ja Montoyakin vetää tuon viimeistä
Lane to find Professor Sid. Oh, and there's the spin
In the Williams garage, how have things been going so far, Sir Jackie?
Well, the Williams 14th quickest, and that's what happened to Christian Albers. Rear tires are in contact with the ground. He loses.
Oh, Felipe Massa into the wall. He gets a moment at turn 11, throws it away across the face of 12.
One of the Toro Rossos tangles up with Massa, and that's where Felipe Massa's Ferrari, a couple of other cars. But let's just look at this incident.
It's clear to Massa, who then runs into the back of Nico Rosberg. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, nasty. Lost it badly under braking.
Oh, is that Michael Schumacher? It is. Schumacher pushing. Come back to Albert Park, Melbourne. There's the Utsi crashing in the background. That safety car for the 4th time here this afternoon.
In this stake here in qualifying, backs are off through the sand trap and up into the wall.
Oh, there we go.
It's
down.
Albers. Yeah, Albers. You see rolling the car.
Roll over into the gravel trap. That's at the.
Paikka Juitsi idelläkin on tänä viikonloppuna.
Aha, jälleen kerran. Kajoa. Joo, ei millään käynyt tommosella hiekka.
Tallessa tuolla Toyotallakin on samalla kun Anthony Davidson pyörä.
Jenson Button takes the inside line. No accident this year. Yeah, oh, spoke too soon.
Lead to 3 seconds. And what is that? That is Montero.
Tarvitaan punaista lippua, en kyllä usko, niin pitkälle menee tuonne turva-alueelle David.
The time he lost earlier on in the race behind one stoppers. And
Hier sehen wir's. Und dann geht's nur noch ab geradeaus.
0 viikonlopun kovin aika, toistaiseksi ja sitten
osuu ja lähtee pyörä.
contact there. Ralph goes sideways, and Mark, look at that.
And it was, I think, Scott's speed.
Watch further up the road. Contact there, and that's how Webber got taken out.
Että täältä tulee ilmeisesti se Physikalan ulos.
Maintenant, oui, bon, déséquilibré, voilà, ça va.
Line, and there's no point, Nico, trying to do that. There was absolutely
into the pits. What did you have to do to his car?
No, exactly. Well, that's why I'm not trying to get over there. But it was just here is that replay. What happens? Yeah, one very much gets into the other.
Yeah, predictably enough, Montoya hit.
Jenson Button now, very hard.
Oh my goodness me! At a place where there's a wall to hit.
Marbles. Realises it, gets on the brakes, but Concertina in the middle. The first accident is at the back. Right now, put him into a collects Heidfeld. Heidfeld goes rolling, Button spins around. Alonso at the front trying to pass Michael Schumacher, as in the background, how getting into each other. They then go into Button. He puts up the inside, hits the curve, flies through the air and tags Montero.
Richtung gewechselt, innen auf den Abweiser gefahren. Ja, das war der. Ja, da ist er mit dem linken Hinterrad aufs Gras gekommen. Und
It was the MF1 we saw before, and that was him. Goodness me.
Metal wire that you see the tyre is made up of. He's spun and the tyre... Oh, well,
Nähdään tuo tilanne. Tämä on muuten sama täsmälleen sama paikka, eli tuon Nürburgring. Nyt kävi näin.
Und ein, ja.
This. Ralf Schumacher, David Coulthard coming together. Coulthard air
lane. That's Nico Rosberg flying off the racetrack. He was lying in 17th place, turn 17.
Im Red Bull und Abflug eines Honda.
Both had engine changes prior to qualifying, so they'll cop the 10-spot grid penalty of Scott Speed running wide on the exit curbing at turn 1.
The Della Rosas of this world. That's one of... He is out of this one, and there he is, just travelling backwards. Carlo Fisichella, we're being told, is out of the race.
Kimi is trying to overtake Liuzzi, and I think Liuzzi just sees.
So, looking at the replay there, second place effectively as a result of that. What a big shunt that was.
As you see him losing it at the moment, I think the team will decide to stay out there.
Wheel nuts blown off the right rear corner, I believe.
Yeah, well, we saw him exiting.
Steht. So, da haben wir Nico Rosbergs halben Dreher nochmal.
There's chaos in midfield as everyone tries to avoid him. One of the Toyota.
Fisichella got a helping hand there at all, but then...
Raikkonen incident.
Yeah, Raikkonen runs wide in 8.
How it happened from Tony. See, a simple round he goes, but unfortunately...
Watching his mirrors flapping. Whoops, what have we got here?
Lyötävissä. On joo, ja kyllä mä uskon, että kaikki ne on lyötävissä, että ei se...
A hairpin, bit of aggravation here between the Super Aguris as well and Takuma Sato.
Engine was running, but probably something with the electricity or engine either way.
Deficit that they lost with that losing the mass.
Barrichello weg.
Denn Fisichella rutscht rein. Dombos und Liuzzi.
Liuzzi zum wievielten Mal?
But as one of the Toro Rossos has a big spin, this is how it happened. Oh my goodness me, that's catastrophic failure.
At the top, there's a couple of cars we've seen struggling out of there, and that's on course. And that's a big one then for Rosberg, and he's just he's been quite slow for a while. And the back end's a bit light. He's hit the brake pedal. And
weekend, but starting to build the team up, and it's an exciting project.
It sounds like all the infrastructure is there to make this team.
Circuit that because it's a road, it's the normal road during the course of 360 odd days of the year. The more you
Rust. Billy, I'm not sure. I'll need to look into this, but I wonder whether Mark Webber made well before the flag came out, as we watch a spin on screen here.
That's Barrichello.
Another benchmark sector as one of the Spiker cars takes for all. It's clear the Ferrari is too quick for the BMW, and this time he was almost in major drama. Australia. Welcome back as we see Christian Albers, and the spot see from the top of your screen brings in one of the first big pulse.
27.9 and then a 28.0.
Oh, off goes Kovalainen.
Here we go again. There's Kovalanen's lose. He's had a couple of... What a great run from Super Aguri. He's right behind Jarno Trulli.
Yes, he is. Kovalainen, it wasn't on the initial turn-in. He was already on the power, I would suggest, at that point in the corner. And then the car snapped around.
In fourth place, fifth is Fisichella as Coulthard puts a huge move up the inside of...
That's his Alex Wurtz's mirror. Now, he was coming in, he would have worked out. I think Alex will be actually... nasty. That was flagged up. I'm going to try and overtake you. And...
towards to the end of the race to be strong with soft tires. Last thing was planned really short.
Der muss schon platt gewesen sein. Der sah schon ziemlich, ich glaube, der hat schon Gas weg.
Under braking. This is the first corner incident where Sutil appeared to slam. And there's 8 sort of pops up and surprises you. There's nothing you can do. But it's sort of a bit of a code. Ferrari. It's Jensen. Just got in a little bit hot, and there's somebody else. And
he didn't touch Speed.
Spun. Yeah.
Speed was hit.
That is turn 9 at the top of the hill, and he has very much been off. Problem is, does he?
It is the car of Scott Speed. Left rear tyre failure. That will get everybody's attention.
Well, it's a Button after his pit stop, neck and neck with the Barrichello. Button hits the curb, slides, and tags Rubens. And
here's what happened.
Yes, he's gone over the top of Massenet a little bit too hard and fast. Got closely fighting his teammate Scott Speed. They're going to.
Here's what happened.
No, that's a big accident in terms of the impact of the rear. It takes a lot of putting a rear wing on one of these cars, but the rear suspension, depends how long the red flag is out, very long. And, he said, I'm struggling under brakes. He did have turn 1, having just passed Kubica, and he's gone in too deep. And that, of course, then is
corner as we take another look at what caused Scott Speed to break the suspension. It was Alex Wurz in the Williams colliding. As we take another look at that 50-50 into the corner. Hit the rear wingers.
To tell us when they close the pit lane. Oh, and that's why we've got Sutil having hit the wall hard along the wall. And
for Alonso, they did it. They got him in before the pit lane was closed, so they did add fuel and change tyres, so he's back now.
Oh, yes, he's had an accident very early on. And that was at maximum velocity. I've never seen a car crash like the Toyota he connected with. He took off. Oh, yes, and head first in the wall. So nearly collected the top. So at least they can carry on in the race. Well, that's look.
Synchronised spinning from Trulli.
It was the curb in the middle, threw him wide. Classic problem there in what they call the
Well, I said at the top that a safety car here is a probability rather than a possibility. It's on the curve at turn 8. That's on the way out of the pit lane. Up towards the top of the grid in Formula 1. A lot of effort and resources going in.
He locked the left front on the right. Car got a little bit away from him, had to turn into the slide, spun on the grass. He needs to, that's for sure. Coulthard not at all comfortable. And he'll be angry with that because he was much faster.
He is not, and it looks like the BMW of Heidfeld's got up well, Kovalainen as well, and I think Vettel may have gone straight on and cut the chicane
with Davidson in the Super Aguri. It's Ralph, look, just locks his front wheels and he just ran wide. Unforced error, served it straight to Sutil. So, and he's gone round. Caught the grass and round he goes.
Yeah, the hero of Montreal to
car out, and he's gone wide. Very similar to Fisichella's accident, very, very similar. And ran wide with understeer. Just manages, there's an accident in front of him, he's gone around, he's been clipped from Liuzzi. So Davison, and that's why he's lost his sight. And then collected Liuzzi as Liuzzi was busy 100 metres. And this is Kovalainen who gets pushed from behind. But let's watch it. Yeah, Trulli came up the inside into...
needs to. Oh, there's a touch. There's a touch there, and they've actually been here. And I'm really not sure you can see that with Alonso to really even be aware that there was another car there.
Another shot there on the intro to the course.
I would imagine then he's spoiled a lot of other drivers' laps with that one. He's just going to turn left.
What happened?
Oh,
it's a tyre failure. And it's in the Michael Schumacher corner.
It never really turned in, did it? And straight across. It's an unusual place. And it's the right front, a right front puncture or some kind of failure there. The bodywork flying off is because the tyres ripping it apart.
Dries exceptionally quickly when it stops raining here, and of course they can restart it under the red.
Grand Prix at the Nürburgring, and there'll be a countdown fairly soon to the restart. Once the race, David Coulthard you could see spinning, but he has rescued his situation to get himself up to 5th place. An awful lot happened here in the opening.
Him there, but Button is the first one off then. Button with his wheels locked.
From the Spiker pit wall by Mike. What an extraordinary start to the race. And Winkelhock.
He's a run up the inside, which is fair enough from there. And Ralph clearly didn't know he was coming in. That's what happens. Ralph, he wasn't fully alongside, was he? 61 half a dozen of another.
Head on. Bit optimistic, but worth. Just 5 laps into this race going off.
We didn't see the start of that. There. Well, that was not just. No, that was a pretty serious reason for spinning off.
Suddenly, as you see the highlights here, suddenly snapped right under braking for the Ascari chicane. Suffered plenty of damage. Kimi fortunately walked away. One report coming from Monza at the moment is that somehow bumps, playing down any talk of something breaking on the car, but the suggestion that Kimi lost control over...
Oh, the back end just steps completely out on him before he, and it looks like the anti-stall didn't kick in either for good measure. And right, so it's something blue at the front. Something's broken on Coulthard in the Curva Grande, and a oblique angle into the wall.
running around 18th at that time, so he left his late very late. Look at that though, huge hit by Ralf Schumacher, and he's
the fastest first sector, Hamilton fastest middle sector. Here's a look what happened between Button and Heidfeld. And Button
firing line of turn 1. He's dropped it a long way before the corner and just sideswiped Massa. Surely that must have damaged the Ferrari.
It's the BMW, there you go.
Oh, look, he just ran into the side of it.
That's rude.
And Kubica has gone for the inside normal racing line and just understeered clean into Lewis, who would not have seen that one come into turn 10.
Battling Vettel.
And this is that's not the same incident. It's yet another incident down in
lead of the Grand Prix. 26 laps to go as we look at a replay of the local driver Sakon Yamamoto having a spin.
Laps away from this reaching 75% distance. That's a big accident. They do want to abandon the race, but yeah, he's aquaplaned on the exit of turn 5 and where are we? Yeah, he's spun it.
Oh, Vettel has been hit.
He's been hit by Vettel, big time. Vettel is out as well.
Vettel, fast ohne Reaktionsmöglichkeit, rast in den Red Bull.
Keller, who's 6th.
Who's that off the racetrack?
They're completely crazy. He's spun off in the standing water I was just talking about, and that is... As we now know, this is the contact between Davidson and Barrichello. Synchronised spinning, much closer to Hamilton. I'd be surprised if he ends up ahead of him, but he's going to end up much closer to Hamilton than he was before this first round of pit.
This is what happened before. That's when Ralf Schumacher spun out. That's a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, so that's from the spiker hitting. It was Fisichella who cut across the grass. Yamamoto
into turn 1. Sutil all right up the inside of it.
The racing line. Sutil lost his car under braking, and that would have surprised Anthony Davidson a lot. He was total suspension failure, exit of turn 3, but they can move that car quite easily, presumably under double waved
belt. And there's contact there between David Coulthard and Kazuki Nakajima. That's a battle for 9th and 10th place. Clearly got in front of him. Coulthard then ran up the inside of him.
Yeah, we didn't see how that one shaped up. Coulthard pops over the top of Massenet, and look, the back end just stepped out. That's because these wet tyres can no longer clear the water. The water's just a little bit too deep, and then he got a good shove up the back as Bourdais had the same accident.
So while we clear that up, we're under safety car conditions.
Hoping that Heidfeld might have seen it, and it's full lock to get through there at the best of times, let alone in these conditions. Heidfeld had no chance of seeing that one coming.
Wiederholt. Hier fährt er an. Ja, und da bricht das Auto ganz abrupt aus. Das sieht ganz danach aus, als ob da irgendein Getriebeöl liegt. Und der Einschlag rückwärts ist was ganz Fieses.
Hier kommt's.
Da ist der Heckflügel noch dran.
Nelson macht's nach. Doing die zweite. Ist das verrückt, Marc?
Ja.
Ist ein Meter daneben.
Ja, ist hier.
Lap into the bus stop, didn't he? So he got himself up to about 6th place and then spun. Look at him, like a rocket through the middle.
Did he hook that up or what? Oh yeah. It was, yeah, he did get a shove, but it was only to help him into the corner. That'll have damaged.
also includes Raikkonen.
It's a different one. That's turn 2 and 3. Look, he's locked up. It's turn 3. I think his throttle was stuck open a little bit or something.
Some bumping and grinding for Coulthard left his suspension damaged and got him into trouble with Nakajima. The Japanese driver was lucky to avoid a second hit when the Red Bull lost control.
Road, wasn't he? So Lewis thinks he's got the job done there, and Massa comes back across the grass and...
Again, just lost the rear there. It may have been a little bit towards the end of the braking phase. Bitumen. And that shows in real time that you don't get a lot of time to get that.
And as one of the favourites, Kovalainen.
Fairly harmless spin there.
About that, to look at the two Ferraris menacingly inside and outside, and just behind that, there's the squeeze. Heidfeld, Mark Webber, who then hits up in that. Here we go again. This is Webber. You're about to see Barrichello barge into the side of us. I wonder if Barrichello is going to take a penalty, and what's he going to do? I don't think that was his fault. Either that, he just got it loose coming off the other end of the curve, fell off the track. He's going to hit. He's going to touch the brakes, and because he's got so little grip,
the brakes just went crazy, and I spun.
Rosberg 28 seconds behind. Now let's see what happened with Glock.
Well, he sort of had a think about it. He's braked very early. There's going to be contact there, surely.
Oh, yes, there is. There goes Kubica, there goes Vettel. That's the last thing they needed to do. Vettel's lost his front wing, and Jensen. And there's problems, big problems. Oh, there's Vettel.
That's...
And it's Kubica gone as well.
Yeah, damaged right front, left front, and that's fallen off. So
beyond the podium in third place. Jarno Trulli fourth. There's Kubica. Oof.
Yeah, he actually just understeered into the wall because his front wing was damaged. It wasn't suspension failure. So there any differently, he had to give it a try to maintain position. It was nothing outrageous about it. Just two. On. It is indeed. There's enough space on the outside. He kept it together just about. Look at the water that stands reference point, and a great overtake there. Here's Glock, and clearly Heidfeld had no idea he was there. You can't.
Vettel in second place from Jarno Trulli. As we look further down the order, Robert Kubica spins for BMW in 19th position.
One of the cars just makes a move off the track there, but a great start from Rubens Barrichello. Oh, all sorts of problems there. A Red Bull.
And just wanders back onto the racing line, and everybody else scatters into the barrier on the outside. Let's see. No, he's lost it on the way in. How unusual is that? So, car not quite.
Car is damaged too badly. Please stay with it. Please turn it off. Please turn everything off. Stay with the car, please. And come.
Piquet then, past the pit lane entry.
Oh, he's going in the barrier with that, with the rear wing. Did he keep it?
Gonna get a replay. Ooh.
Oh, he's got his braking all wrong, and he's just shoving Piquet straight into the barriers. So it's Buemi's error, wasn't it? No, sorry, that was Raikkonen. So Barrichello stayed in front of the Ferrari. There he goes, he understeered into the apex, and then you get on the dirty stuff. With nothing to lose. If he doesn't get past soon, well, if he hadn't have got past soon, his afternoon's over anyway, frankly. And grow the grid, because I can't. Nobody will be able to get out with enough time.
There's the accident.
Oh look, problem with the car. There's a problem with the car. Abbey on the way in. Ease through there and.
Bourdais into the back of Kovalainen. It's just got a lot worse for him.
Yeah, I think Kovalainen thought he was off there. So, under braking, he dipped a wheel on the grass. That was his fault, that one. Dipped his right side tire. Button told us on the grid's worth about 14 metres in distance. Oh, he spun it. Alonso.
Alonso, he came, I saw on the mirror that he was locking up his crashed completely into me. Just plain stupid.
Hat er die Visitenkarte abgegeben. Hier, das war das entstehende Duell gegen Vettel. Den überholte er in La Source oben, fuhr ihm fast ins Auto, ging dann vorbei. Der
back in Australia, and that seemed to push him even further faster.
We see there's where Kubica's wing got down.
Auto, das hat man durch etwas größere Aufkleber geschickt kaschiert.
Ja, ein bisschen außerhalb der Linie, aber nur ein
Coming down to turn 14.
Right, of Heidfeld. So a lot of debris on the racetrack. It was all about him having a run at Al Jaswari.
So looking good for Lewis Hamilton. Here now is what happened.
Yeah, brake failure.
As predicted by Martin Brundle. Wow.
He was lucky really where it did go.
As the drivers were reporting on the radio, there was just too much aquaplaning, and then the team managers were relaying that back to race control. But the problem was that you've got to...
turn 5.
This is where Alonso went off. This is where Grosjean went off spectacularly this morning. It's like a rally car more than a Formula One car there. Here's a replay. There's Raikkonen, almost collected as well.
Yeah, he dropped it in the early part of the braking zone.
On this occasion, again...
Awful lot of performance. He's understeering all over the place.
Oh, there's problems there as well. Let's switch out, and there's a Toyota there. Was that Jarno Trulli? Suddenly the day looks a bit brighter for him.
Now, this is going to be a chop, I think, from Webber. Webber's moved over, and wasn't really a chop. No, but Webber got a drive-through for something rather more severe than that, I have to say. There's what's going on at the back as Kovalainen spins, collects Vettel.
As I recall, was ahead of Jarno Trulli, and there we are.
Well, I don't know which bit of that Jarno Trulli thought was Suttil's fault.
It's like he did in Japan 2 weeks ago.
This is from on board. Oh, Alonso took a big wallop in that as well. Look, and that's where it started to go wrong. The Red Bull there just clipping the back of Heikki Kovalainen. There's a Toyota coming out of the pits then, Kobayashi. So the two Japanese got together. Kobayashi weaves on him. He does indeed. Naughty. Very naughty indeed.
And he could have collected him coming through on one of two cars. There may be Liuzzi as well.
Yeah. Kvyat Boemi down into turn 8 and 9. Contact, spin. What happened is, if you look at Kubica, he was right behind Webber, looking into all that smoke. There's Hulkenberg getting a lot of oversteer. Suddenly, all the contact patches hook up, and it swings the other way.
That's going to do his tyres. Straight down the one side of the grandstand and back up along the pit straight.
Heading towards turn 4, we're about to see a recovering Lotus. Let's find out what he's recovering from. Recovering from a rather clumsy overtaking move.
Box now, Jaime, box now. You need to attack my front wing.
So 3 more laps to go, Lewis. 3 more laps. And Lewis, are you okay?
Can't believe it, guys. Now Sutu, that's the next German, come on.
Sorry, mate, that'll be it for you, I'm afraid.
Okay, the timing. I know Holly said it's just started raining again, but it's not obviously too bad because there's lots of people still doing personal best in the first sector. You know, Lewis Hamilton and Adrian Sutil have just gone quicker than they had done before. You know, there's a lot of people still.
thump up the right rear. Oh, he's got wide through 7. Right, so, OK, so he's had contact already, and now I think he gets a wallop as well. Right, so he completely leaves him space, look, on the inside, so bang, that's it. And then he'll come back and have another go. Is they're thinking of putting on now, those? Yeah, we're on board with him. Oh, he just put a little bit of throttle in. There was no grip over there, and now he's going to collect Nico Rosberg.
The car is indeed out. Third time we've seen it. Started under it, brought out again when Webber and Rosberg had their collision, and this was Buemi versus Glock. Right. And Hamilton's coming in for a pit stop now, quickly. And so is Massa.
That's interesting, because Vettel and Alonso
and Michael Schumacher.
And that was a touch clumsy from Adrian. I think he's been just a bit too punchy in these braking zones.
Sutil is out then.